call the meeting to order, since we do have a quorum, and hopefully our other two partners will join us here. But I see 5:31. Catherine, if you're making note. All right. Even though it's both of you and we're being recorded, I'll go through the normal prelim. Good evening, everyone. This is welcome to this is November 2022 regular meeting of the Historic District Commission. I'm Tim Dowen. I'm the chairman. Please note this meeting's being recorded. If you're not speaking, please have yourself on mute to prevent any background noises. Our meeting tonight's broken up into two sections: the public hearing and the regular meeting. The public hearings opportunity for applicants, that's you, Jake, to present your application, and for the commission members to ask questions. Once the public hearing closes, a regular meeting will begin, and the regular meeting is where the commission discusses and votes on the applications. Applicants can stay and listen to the regular meeting. I'm going to force you to stay, I think, on this one. You can't just run out. No, I guess actually you can. I don't want to get in trouble. Applicants are not permitted to speak or provide more information regarding their application at this time. It's not required that the applicants stay. All applicants will receive a written notification regarding the commission's decision on the next business day. Thank you all. Any questions? Hearing none. Let's start right in. And I know that we normally allow the order of these to go based on our attendees or our COA applicants. But since we only have one, I'm assuming you, Jake, you're free to present. Let's say 502. We're going to go 502.
Yep, we can start with 502. That works for me. Hold on one sec. I just really screwed up my screen. Okay, I tried to make these as detailed and picture-oriented as humanly possible so we can follow along. But 502 is we're having a lot of rotting around the base of the house and around the windows in the basement. So if you look in the first picture, it shows our house from the road, which is a required picture, and it shows you the areas that are affected. So it's 3 basement windows total and 1 door sill that you see there. The next picture is literally just one of the basements. All the other basement windows look remarkably the same in that they're just rotted out and falling apart. The next picture shows you that the large baseboard that goes around the base of the house has rotting literally all the way around the base of the house. So I would like to replace those. We're actually getting varmints inside our garage because they're just eating holes in it.
This is I'm sorry, the bottom board is.
Correct, exactly right. So I showed 2 pictures of it. One is by a downspout and the other is underneath flowers on a windowsill, but you can see how it's just the wood is just rotting away, the paint's peeling.
It's just the wood you're proposing, not
just that plank of wood that you see on the bottom. So that plank of wood all the way around the base of the house. Okay. Nothing above it, none of the clapboards.
Right, and not the brick below the.
Correct. No, nothing will be done to the brick below. Correct.
Right.
The next pictures, the next 2 pictures are what our front door sill looks like. And to be frank with you, that's become a danger. I ask any guest to step over that because I'm not 100% convinced that will even support weight too many more times in its life. And it's separating out from the actual door jamb. So I need to get that door sill replaced as well. I do have a quote on that. To get the door sill replaced, but waiting for the approval of the commission, I did not get a quote on replacing that bottom plank around the base of the house.
And the windows.
Well, I'm not doing it. Yeah, right. Correct. Around the basement windows. Exactly right. Yep. So I'm waiting for a quote on that from a couple of contractors.
Right. Okay.
Any
the windows
aren't.
I'm sorry, the windows aren't being replaced. It's
no,
just the framing sill around the window.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. All right. We'll do it piecemeal here or whatever. Questions from the commission?
No questions from me. I'm sorry you're dealing with all that, Jake. That doesn't sound fun.
No question for me, other than I don't even think that this really requires a COA.
Well, the reason I did it was because it was structural and because you would be able to see it from the road because we've taken down the plants. So I just wanted to make sure that it was cleared by everybody before I went ahead and got work done.
Yeah.
But that brings up a point, because I know it came up in a different comment, Regan. You're saying it doesn't require COA, but if, even though this seems obvious, whatever, for this change, he went to pull a permit from the building department. I'm wondering if they would question it and say, oh, you have to get permission from the COA, from the commission. So we'll bring that up, I think, maybe in the later one, but that's,
Yeah,
um,
they probably want to check with us regardless, which is
Right.
great that they are now starting to do that. So,
exactly.
and we've got Greg Farlow, I think he's.
Yes,
And
welcome,
finally, I
Greg.
figured out the technology.
Good to
All right,
have
go
you,
ahead.
Greg.
All right. So, Greg, do you have any questions, Greg Farlow, on Jake's presentation there?
Didn't hear it.
Oh, okay. All
Come on,
right.
Jake, give it to me. What does he want?
No, let's not rewind, but
No.
I'll
We're
vote
just
on that one.
kidding. We have enough on this. It's a still replacement, like for like. So I think we're good. And it's only one of four that he's going to present. So you won't miss much.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So
Hearing
let's
no
go
more.
ahead.
Let's
Let's
skip
go ahead
ahead
and
to,
shift to 503.
yep.
503 is we need to get gutters. So there's two COAs for this particular part. If you look in the first picture, you will see that there is no gutter on the front of the house. When they roofed last time, they roofed right over wood gutters that were in the house. So what winds up happening is all the water that flows off our roof hits the foundation, goes into the basement, and we wind up wet dry vacuuming everything. We actually have gone so far as to get wood and plastic from Lowe's and create little kind of gutters that we put up each time it comes to a big rainstorm. But we need to get it fixed. So the next picture is what the corner of the house looks like. So you can see how the roofing shingles actually come out over that old wood gutter that's up there. If you look at the next picture, you will see the only gutter left, and that is what hangs over our front door right above the flag. And if you look real carefully, do I have another picture? Yeah, the next picture shows that the one downspout has actually separated from that. And if you look at it in the broad daylight, you can see the former owner tried to repair it. So anything that comes over our front door goes down that chute, out the hole, hits the front porch on the front of our house, and it literally leaks in through a hole in the basement. So we went to get it checked out to see if we could get gutters put in, and we can't. The reason we can't is because that old downspout is there. That kind of looks like fascia, but it's not really fascia. So the next picture is an artist's rendition of the current look and what would happen when I'm doing what we proposed. They want to actually cut back the shingles to retract the roof a little bit, then put up a proper front fascia on it, which would be a flat one. And to that flat fascia, they would attach a gutter system for the front of our house. So instead of looking like a shingled over gutter, it would actually be just a new fascia on the top, and they would connect a gutter system directly to that. So this COA is to get the fascia on the front of the house replaced with a flat-faced one. It would be painted to look like the house. So theoretically, unless you looked real close, you wouldn't notice a difference. but it's the only way we can get gutters put on the front of the house. The next page is an estimate for getting that done. The guy that we're asking to do it is a master carpenter, and he's worked on homes before with this type of thing. So he's going to replace it and paint it the house color.
And this would eliminate that jut out that's supposed to be the gutter, the only gutter right now above the door. So it would be one straight line across the front.
Yeah. All
Okay.
he's really going to do, if you think about it in simple terms, is he's going to retract the shingling. If you look at the drawing again with the current look and the fashion downspout, you'll see at the bottom of the shingles what looks like kind of plates. They actually have metal flashing up there. So we're proposing to remove the metal flashing, which would take it back to just the shingles. And then they could put up a new front fascia, and that would be what we attach the gutters to.
Gotcha.
So you're saying that metal plate covers up a gutter right now?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it covers up an old wood gutter. Instead of having them removed, they just plated over it.
Oh, wow. It's not obvious from the picture. I mean, it's hard to see that.
Yeah, the guy actually had to crawl up under the roof to see it. And what's interesting is under our shingles on both sides of the house, the plywood under the shingles doesn't even go to the edge of the shingles. There's literally a layer and a half of shingles that are unsupported on the roof by plywood. So
Oh,
actually by cutting the roof back a little bit, all he's going to be doing is taking shingles off, not even part of the plywood roof.
that's just kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
It is really bizarre.
Is it the same way on the back of the house or?
It's identical on the back of the house, except they didn't use flashing, they just used shingles. So on the back of the house that I didn't do a COA for because it's not visible from the road, but on the back of the house, we're going to get the exact same thing done as the front. Cut back the shingles, put up a new fashion, attach gutter.
That's just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Is that estimate for both front and back? I just.
No, that
not
estimate
that
is
bad.
just for the front alone, and I asked him if he'd give me a price on the door sill, so that material and labor on the bottom is to replace the front door sill if we had him do both.
Gotcha. Okay. Any other questions from our commission members?
No questions from me. Looks good.
No other
Okay.
questions for me?
Greg?
No problem.
Carlo?
No problem.
All righty.
Thank you.
That's a Leffingwell house. It is.
That corner detail where
Tan
it's
one.
like kind of like that lower molding comes around on the side of the house. That's kind of like what it's on my house.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they did a lot of what they did in this house. We have an electrician working inside right now, and he said the wiring is just tragic. So doing
Sounds
a
like
lot
my
to get the
house.
house back together. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
right.
So we're okay.
504?
Yep, 504 is a request to take down that wooden front gutter and to take down the gray gutter that surrounds the garage. So you'll see that I made two circles, one for the top of the front of the roof and one for the part of the roof that is facing the road. The front doesn't have any gutters. The side has a gray, old, worn, beat up gutter that leaks and does not do its job. You'll also see with the arrows that the proposed gutters that would go in would remove that downspout and actually move it over to the edge of the house. So that middle gray downspout would go away. And there would be a downspout instead on the left front of the house if you're facing it from the road. So the next one is you'll see that the guttering around the garage has actually been poorly repaired to kind of hold it together. And it is not pitched well. So all the water actually gathers in the corner and spills out there. And the little that comes out the downspout goes down the driveway. You'll also see that I circled the part that goes along the side of the roof because that's visible from the road as you're driving up to the house. I'm also proposing that that be replaced.
That just wraps around from the
Correct.
side. Yeah.
Yep. The next drawing is from Quality Insulation of Eastern Connecticut. They're the ones that did the guttering for the Leffingwell house The proposed style of gutter would be that 5-inch K style gutter. Our estimate is what follows for getting the front of the garage side and back of the house done. I circled the,
I know you got the wrong contractor.
what?
Oh, who did you say put the gutters on the Leffingwell?
The Quality Insulation of Eastern Connecticut.
The Ganji put them up.
These guys did the across the green from me, the visitor center.
Yeah, so Quality Insulation did the carpenter shop, the visitor center, and my house.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said the Leffingwell house. I
That's
apologize.
okay.
Again, that
They
was,
just
No,
did,
it's
they just did my
the Ganji.
house last weekend.
gotcha.
Unless you want copper.
Unless
on
you
the
want
bill-
copper, but
On the bill, you'll notice that I want to get a mesh gutter guard put on because our house is so high to climb up to clean out the gutters, and I think I've done it 3 or 4 times, and it's just, it's insanity climbing up there. We're proposing to get black, which is the same color that's on the Leffingwell house, so I kind of just sent in a picture of the Leffingwell house to show what the black gutters will look like. And that's what I'm going to get put on the front of the house and the garage and the side of the garage.
So Jake, are you doing the whole house and you've just shown the pictures on the front? Is that?
Yeah, because the back is invisible from the road and I didn't need a COA for that, I didn't include it, but this will go around the entire house, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that quote just for the front half?
Yeah, that quote is for the front. I did not want to get a quote for the entire front until I had a quote for the fascia, and I have to go back to Quality Insulation and make sure that they'll be able to connect to that. So I didn't get a quote for the front yet.
Well, the quote for the front, what is this a quote for? This is
This is to do around the garage,
garage.
the front of
Okay.
the garage and the back of the house. I still need to get
Gotcha.
one for the front of the house, but
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Not that it matters, but it just the last picture of that garage
yeah,
down the side, does that go dual in the slope of that? It's supposed to come to the front, and is there one in the back, or does it all come from the back all the way single to the front?
no, it's actually split. So part of it goes to the back of the garage and part of it comes to the front.
Yeah, just interesting. Interested to know for my own whatever. I'm nosy.
Yeah,
So you-
no, that's fine. We all got to
Yeah.
stick together with this stuff.
Yeah.
So you didn't want to try and match the color of the house like the existing ones, or?
No, because we wanted it to, we're thinking of painting the house later on down the line. And so we were trying to think of a color that would be kind of go with everything. And a black on this house, I think would be a great accent. So we wanted to go with black.
Just checking Fluharty and Matt Brown, did they not put black up on theirs just last meeting or the meeting before on East Town Street? Is it East Town?
You're quizzing me. I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember off the top of my head.
But they were putting up new gutters also, and I thought they changed, or that not they changed, but I thought they were doing black also, front and back.
I don't remember. I'd have to look at their application.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Just
I mean, I guess it's a stylistic preference. I personally don't want to see the gutters. I want them to fade into the background, not be
Mhm.
highlighted, but
Well, it's funny you say that because we had them bring out a gutter sample and hold it up to the house, and you would not believe how much it blends in. Because the house is dark and the black is dark, it literally looks like it goes together. I was skeptical too. We got a quote for white. And my wife said, no, I think black would work better. And when we held up a sample, it was amazing how much it does blend.
yeah.
My only question is, Jake, are these aluminum gutters? I couldn't tell from the quote if it was aluminum.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's pretty standard for what they do.
Yeah.
I think that's what they use. I mean, that's what they used on my house was the aluminum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just curious because I assumed that's what they were going to do. So that's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem.
all right. Do we have any other questions on this one?
No
Nope.
further from me.
Hearing none, let's go to 505.
All right, I hope I made this painless enough with all these pictures.
Mhm.
So this last one is the light on the front of the house. It has one socket that's dead inside the light and the light is rusting out. So the first picture shows the light where it looks like from the street. So it's to the right of the front door. I wanted to give you a couple of pictures to show you how decorative it is. So it's a nice looking light.
Which
But
one? It's the one with the red circle around. It's not the skeleton lighting up.
Yeah, the
Okay.
skeleton doesn't light up.
All right.
That would be cool though. The finish is flaking, it's showing signs of rust, and there's one light in the socket that just no longer works. So we had a twofold reason for wanting to replace this light. The first was I want to hook it up to our ring light system. So I wanted to be able to put a regular bulb in it. And the second thing was I wanted a newer fixture that was going to look nice and not have all this junk on it.
Mhm.
So I'm showing you a picture of the light in the box. I did not pull the light out of the box because I want to be able to return it if it is not approved. But you'll see the picture on the box. I also included what it looks like on display at Lowe's, so you can see what it looks like out of the box. And then there's another picture of what it would look like hanging on the back of the box. So it has that kind of like bubbly glass on it. It takes a regular light bulb, and I thought it would look good on the house, but obviously that's up for you guys to decide. So the diameter and the size of it is almost identical. I put the measurements in the COA. So if you look at the measurements on the box compared to my measuring tape of the current fixture, it's off by like 0.61 inches. So it should look, it's not going to be bigger or smaller, I guess is my point.
Right.
Any caulking we need to put in will be clear. And if we need to do any paint repair, it will be the same as the color of the house.
Again, this is, I mean, to me, this is something I don't even see why it would be a COA for this.
Well, it's a light fixture from the street and it's a new install of a different design. So I've kind of figured this would be a COA worthy. If I've wasted your time, I apologize, but I wanted to err on the side of caution.
I love
And
it. I love
I'm thinking it would. My question here would be, as looking at the style, see how the light itself is below the plate that's going to attach to the wall there. If you look at the original one, the light is up above this. So if you place that back in the same spot on those two clapboards, you may have to elongate or whatever on that. But assuming that you were going to place the plate there, I'm not sure. Let me go back. If that then puts the light down
You're right.
lower
The
than
light,
you anticipated, but
we'll definitely take a look at that. We're having it done by an electrician because I don't like to screw around with electricity. So as he puts it in, we can take a look. My anticipation, Tim, is that we're going to put it at the same spot. And if it hangs a little bit lower based on where it is, we'll kind of take it as it comes.
yeah. Yep. Okay.
I think it looks awesome. I love the
It does.
design.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna fit the house really nice, Jake. So I love it.
Okay.
All right. So those
Any
are
other-
my 4 applications.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing and we'll move right into the regular meeting. So let's take action on the COAs. We're going to go right back from 502. I entertain a motion on COA 502. I'm sorry, 502 is the sills, replacing the sills on the door and the 3 front, the 3 front basement windows and the lower, I don't know if you'd call that fascia, but the lower board below clapboards are on the front.
I will make a motion to accept the COA as written and presented.
Do I have a second?
Second,
All right, so I have Regan with the motion and Greg J as the second. Do we have any comments, questions amongst ourselves? Jake, you keep your mouth quiet.
No, I think it looks good and it's a necessary repair.
Only comment is I really don't think it needs to be a COA, but
All right, we'll get into that later, maybe a little discussion. Anyone? Hearing no more, we'll take a vote on this. Greg Farlow,
Uh-oh, can he mute?
you're muted. You're muted, Greg. All right, Regan,
We'll go to him last.
Yeah. Greg J.
I
I say aye, and Greg Farlow, Ollie and free.
guess he's abstaining.
Greg, are you there?
Greg, yeah.
Or
Did we
maybe,
look?
Tim, could you unmute him? Could you figure out as Zoom host to unmute him?
It says ask to unmute. It's not giving me permission to unmute.
I think that's all you can do is ask him to unmute.
Yeah. The previous WebEx I was in, I was able to mute and unmute people, but
Oh,
they give me more power apparently than this. All right. We do have a quorum without Greg. So, and Greg, if hopefully let's go into the chat. I'm just gonna, if you can hear us, please go into chat and tell us what's going on, and maybe you have to exit or come back, or maybe you're just being difficult with us. I'm not sure. But I don't think so. So, hearing that, if he comes back on, we will take a vote after to include him, but it passes unanimously. And there he is.
Yeah, I know. He hit all the wrong buttons. Okay. There you
There we
go.
go.
My bad.
Yeah, you're back. You hit the wrong button. Okay.
Yeah, I
All
didn't
right.
do anything.
I know you
And
didn't.
all of a sudden the thing jumped out.
technology.
I actually have a quick question. Should I list Jake as abstaining from these votes, or is he in attendance as a citizen?
No,
Oh,
Well,
good, I have no picture.
He's both. He's got
Oh,
it.
now I do.
yeah, I'm gonna
No,
say
I
he
do. Hi,
abstains.
everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, God, look.
All right, Greg Farlow, I hope you were listening. We're voting on COA 502. I'm
Yep.
looking for your vote.
Aye.
All right, that's a unanimous. Jake abstains. Everyone else is an aye. We will go to
Of course he
50.
abstains.
Say again.
Of course he abstains.
Yes. We will go to 503. 503 being the repair replacement of the front gutter. This is just a front gutter to fix the,
The fascia.
I want to say the fascia, the Rube Goldberg type setting that is up there right now. And
Okay.
so I'll entertain a motion.
I'll
For the
make a motion.
gutters?
You want to go,
For-
Greg?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was just gonna say, I'll make the motion to accept
I'll answer it.
the application
Here.
as presented and submitted.
And do I have a second?
Hello?
A second.
All right, same Reagan
Hello?
made the motion and Greg J
Goodbye.
seconded. Do we have any comments? Discussion?
Mm-mm.
Looks good.
Now in this one here, I'm wondering, not that, is it needed or not? With this one, could we have included this with the other gutter related type stuff? I don't know if that would have been,
You
Yeah.
probably could have lumped everything into one COA request.
well, true. I know there are different whatever, but I was just looking at this one and the other one might have been together, but I'm good for it. I would
Yeah.
hate to think that we accepted one and not the other. Which one would we not accept? So, but we would also could have stipulations, I suppose. So any other comment on this of cutting that back, putting the fascia board up there and making it a seamless front view, front line, I guess, of the building. Hearing none, I will go for a vote. Greg Farlow,
Aye.
Regan, Jake.
Nope, Jake can't go.
I know I want him to say abstain.
Abstain.
Abstain. That's the only thing we're letting him say. Greg J,
Aye.
And I say aye, passes unanimously. Pass unanimously with Greg abstaining. It's Jake abstaining, excuse me. 504, this is the other gutter, another gutter, moving the front gutter and the garage gutter and moving the downspout. Do I entertain, I entertain a motion? Let's put it that way.
I move to accept as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second,
All right, reverse that. Greg J, motion, Regan, second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll go right to a vote. Greg J,
Aye.
Jake,
Abstain.
yes, Regan,
aye.
Greg Farlow,
Hi,
and I say aye. Oh, I like the
Thumbs up.
the thumbs up. There we go. So we that passes unanimously with one abstaining. So, and we will go to the last one, 505. This one being, help me out here. This is the front light. Yeah, the front light. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the COA as written and submitted.
And second,
hi.
and Greg Farlow, second, Regan's motion. Discussion?
I think it's gonna look awesome. It's gonna be very pretty. So
I think so too.
I love it.
And I think I've moved a sconce lighting like that on my backside, on the back. I don't know. Sometimes, they make those boards that it nestles up to the clapboard shape and stuff. So sometimes it makes it a little bit easier. That's what I had previously, but even after taking that off, fixing it, you wouldn't know that there was a sconce there if you had to move it. So I think you're probably in good shape either way. So I will, any other comments?
Yep.
Hearing none, I will go for a vote. Greg J,
Aye.
Jake,
Abstain.
Regan,
Aye.
Greg F,
Aye.
aye. I'm going to say aye, passes with one abstention, whatever. Excellent. Congratulations, Jake. You are approved.
Ready to
I will
spend
send
money.
out. Yeah, I'll send out a notice to the clerk. Obviously, is going to get this to hear our votes, but the building department will get our results also, so they can approve any permits that you have to pull. So,
Thank you.
and that'll be tomorrow. So excellent. All right. Which brings us to approval of the minutes for our October meeting. Hopefully everyone read them. Yes. Excellent. Does anyone, I'll entertain a motion for that approval. Did I hear Greg Farlow say I,
I approve.
all right. And do I
Make a
have,
motion to approve the meetings, the minutes of last meeting? Thank you,
Second.
Catherine.
do I have a second?
Second.
All right. You were
Now that I
here
can
last.
talk again.
All right, you were here. So, any discussion on this? Anyone have any updates?
I'm quickly scanning. I think they look good. And just always a thank you to Catherine for putting these together. We always appreciate her. So thank you.
Absolutely. All right, hearing no other amendments, I'll go for a vote. Greg J.
I'm going to abstain because I wasn't.
Oh,
at the-
there we go. You're right. I was Jake,
Aye.
Regan,
Aye.
Greg F.
Aye.
And I say aye. Meeting minutes are approved with no modification. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but for the chairman's report, I have written down here budget, and I thought I saw something come by me about a budget, but I was looking through the emails and I didn't see it. And then I thought, well, 98% of the time, Regan, you get the all of the emails and stuff. Do you remember seeing anything, or am I mistaken in what I was seeing?
I haven't gotten anything yet to submit a budget for the next fiscal year. This is kind of the time, so
Right.
I could go back, you know what, let me look back in my emails to see
Yeah.
when.
Catherine, did you see anything coming through the HTC mail?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know why this is triggering something, and I didn't push it off to someplace or put a bookmark or a star on it. So I just before this I was looking around, I couldn't see anything. So I will look again, but
Yeah,
if not,
Tim, I got an email last year around this time from the city comptroller requesting our budget. So this is budget season, so we
has
should.
our controller changed in the last year? I don't remember.
No,
Who-
no,
who is it?
it's Josh Pothier, and he sends it on behalf of the city manager, John Salamone. So
Okay.
I got that email. Actually, technically, he sent me the email September 30th, 2021, but it was due in November, and so I sent it to them in November 4th, 2021.
I will double check. We did get something about MIS, and he was looking for the HDC, and that's the one. There was one thread there where he was looking for HDC and another ethics committee or something like that.
Yeah,
And but that was the only thing I saw that would be, and it was from him. It was from Josh, but I didn't. So I will look at that so we are not shut out in our thoughts and for a budget. And again, in my mind, our number one priority is to make sure we have a stipend for our secretary, and then we can work any extras of mailing and the like for that. And I know they do charge us. I think it comes out of our budget when we post these meetings and stuff in the
Yeah.
newspaper as required. It does come out of our budget. So
Does
Tim, do
anybody
you
ever ask you about that?
for what the
About expenses?
well, I
they've
don't know if
asked me
we submitted-
before. They haven't asked him yet. He hasn't had the pleasure.
Yeah. I
Um,
just know from previously though that I knew we would, if they gave us nothing for a budget, they still have a requirement to post these meetings, and that costs money. And so I don't know. It comes out of no, now I'm forgetting her name. Whatever.
Deanna's budget.
Yeah.
Planning
Yeah.
and zoning. Tim, do you want me to send an email to the city manager and comptroller just to be like, hey,
Just
we-
as yeah. Did we get shunned here for some
Yeah.
reason?
all right, I'll send an email and I'll loop you in it too, so they know that you're the new chairman too, because maybe they just didn't know.
Okay. One day, 10 years from now, you're not going to get all these emails. It'll be onto someone else. But all right. From old business, we had a couple things here. And I'm going to put that in. I believe we discussed some of these. 171 Broadway had asked about submitting a COA, and we got some emails from, I think it was Angela Fuller from the city clerk's office, or no, I'm sorry, from building department, saying she hadn't seen anything since then. This was, and so they had mentioned, should they put in a COA? We responded to them saying, yes, here's our historic guidelines, and told them that they should. And they hadn't seen anything for a permit being pulled. I don't know if they're getting leaks and stuff, or you would have thought that'd be high on the agenda. That said, I have not gone to see if they just went and did the work. It was again for roofing at 171 Broadway. So I will, and we have someone coming in, but I don't see a name.
He's calling you up.
That's me, Tim.
There we go.
Can you
So
hear me?
we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm very sorry. We couldn't get this thing going here, and I'm finally here. You're probably almost done.
We
I
are.
apologize.
No, we're through all the COAs. And
Right.
so we're just talking about some of the old business where I'm anticipating that we would see something. I don't believe the building department is going to give 171 Broadway a permit until they come to us, and they haven't come to us. So again, they've either done the work without getting a permit, or we should see something from them, I would hope soon. Similarly, we had noticed, and I think we followed up on Huntington Street 18, maybe.
That's
There,
16 Huntington Lane.
16, excuse me. So in the back near the pond, Regan had noticed that they had put a shed. They called it a fancier log cabin duck blind or duck house. I hope it's not a duck blind, but at any rate, I'm not sure if they were going to submit something. They didn't for this one, and we'll see. That may be an after the fact since it's already there. Thirdly, we got emails from Vince Verdi. The name is familiar. He was looking for maybe an architect or someone to help him design what he wants to do for his front entrance staircase. He called it staircase, but I'm going to call it front entrance. But I do not remember. I know I've seen something come through him before. I don't know where his address is. Vincent Verdi.
Yeah,
I'm not
he's
sure.
on Washington Street. I think he's like 377 Washington Street. It's across from, well, I guess technically like 2 doors down from the East District Schoolhouse.
Okay.
Big kind
Yeah.
of tan one that doesn't have a front staircase going to the front door, which is strange.
He's across from the B&B.
Yeah.
So, but did not get anything since then. So anticipating there's another one. At least that one would be timely, where he would present it before doing any of the work. And then the last one was an email, which was near borderline of when they could be in, from Miranda Creative, who, again, knowing they're in the district, they want to put new border trim up along the top of the building that would kind of go along with some of the flower plantings and things there. And on top of that, there was going to be temporary festive lights for the Christmas holiday season. Temporary, so that one does not need a COA. But we are saying, since the trim piece at the top is a new look, that they would need the COA. And they said that they would submit that. We thought maybe very soon, and make it into this meeting, but they didn't. So anticipate for Christmas, we may have, I'm going to guess, at least one, possibly 4, 2 of them, or at least one of them maybe after the fact. So
What a nice present.
yeah, so I don't think we're going to be able to. I think there'll probably be something come December, in case anyone was thinking of going to the North Pole or something. So from that, new business is all new business that we've had before. We had the vacancies, and I know some of you have put in, and has anyone heard anything or been interviewed for either renewal of their commission membership or new? I'm not sure where the city stands on interviewing people. Has anyone?
I think it's happening soon, to my understanding. I think they were waiting for after the election for whatever reason. Because Dane's in the same loop. He's been trying to be interviewed, and he says it's coming. He just hasn't got the date or time. So
Right.
things move
So-
slow.
Yeah. All right. So interesting. So at any rate, I have to look to see where all the vacancies are coming or whatever. But again, always be considering other people that might be a good fit here for membership, in case one of us gets hit by a bus.
I think
Well, Tim, you're talking about brand new members, right? You're not
well-
talking, or, no?
I'm talking in the last part here about brand new members, if we have ideas of who that would be, because I believe, well, unless Dane comes in, right now there is a vacancy, and then
Okay.
so it's always nice. I'm thinking of our Lothorpe Meadows Association where we're always trying to put other names on the list. So next time we come around, we can invite the next person in as someone goes out the door. So,
So I think with Dane, if he's able to join, he will fill the last vacant spot,
Right.
and then we would have a full commission.
Right.
With Greg Farlow and Jake as alternates. So Greg Johnson, you currently are a full commission member.
Hooray.
So that's how that would work. So we
Just
just,
to let you know, I did put my name in for
Oh,
a
good.
full commission. So I
Good.
applied again. I don't know if they got it, but I did apply for the full spot.
okay, great. Oh, good. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah. they don't,
Hmm.
I don't know. Do they come to us to say, hey, do you know this guy? Would give us a background or anything
They'll
like that?
usually call me and be like, yo, who's this person? Are they good? And I'll be like, yeah. And they're like, okay.
Come on.
It's very informal, but they still
Yes.
do the interview process.
Yeah. And then you'll get the questions. What's your favorite color? That won't fit in this historic district. That's too bold.
Get a
Anyway.
choice, white,
Yeah.
blue, or red.
All
Good
right.
question.
So I have no other new business. I'm gonna go around
Make
the thing here for last nickels. Greg?
I got one quick thing
Oh,
to
I'm sorry.
share. No,
Yeah.
you're fine. I'm posting it in chat. I know it's on Facebook and I don't know if everyone has a Facebook, so I apologize. But there is a virtual local historic district commission training sponsored by the State Historic Preservation Office and Preservation Connecticut on Wednesday, November 30th at 7 o'clock via Zoom. And I also think they're streaming it on Facebook is what's happening. So if
30th.
yeah, so Wednesday, November 30th, 7 o'clock via Zoom and or Facebook, whichever way you want to tune in. I think it's always good to get a refresher. So if people are able to join, you can even listen as you're eating dinner, having your camera muted or something. I think it might just be a good refresher to have.
How
for
do we get a
everybody.
link on that?
Yeah, where the link for the Zoom, because I'm not Facebook. So
Yeah, I will ask for it because
Right.
I'm on the board of Preservation Connecticut. So
All right.
I'll figure out how they're
Preserve
doing
this
that.
date.
and that is 7 p.m. So that'll be good. If you could
Mm-hmm.
do that, then I'll make sure we send it out before that for the Zoom for everyone, both of the links. So yeah, that I agree. Be good for either refresher and or any new information. So
Yeah, for sure. It's always good.
all right, last nickels for you, Regan.
That was it. That's all I
That
wanted
was
to
it?
share. Thanks.
All right, Greg J. Jake.
I just do have one question that Greg brought up earlier is those COAs, it took me a while to write those up just because I am not good at cutting, pasting and marking up PDFs and things like that. Were all of those necessary, Regan, or were a couple of those, could they have been combined? I didn't know, so I erred on the side of safety, but I am curious as to what that answer is.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So we've gone back and forth in the past about combining COAs or having things separated. Because we've gotten applications in the past where, like, for example, the fascia work in the gutter was combined, but then at times we wanted them to be separate because it's kind of two separate projects to vote on. So we've erred on the side of having separate COAs for individual projects. That's just been what we've done. With the replacing of the wood by, the windows and the door, that probably would qualify more as like a repair, which wouldn't necessarily require COA because it's just ongoing maintenance of the, of the home.
And that wouldn't really even require a building permit.
No.
I don't know about that. I'm not.
It has to be above a certain value before you need a building permit.
Right. I
Okay.
think
That's
so. Yeah.
And what about the light fixture? Because my impression was any type of fixture, lights on the outside need to be approved. If that's
Yeah,
not correct,
Yeah, I would say yes to the light, just
Okay.
because it's also different.
Yeah.
It was a change in style.
Okay.
So I would say yes for the light.
Okay.
In theory, any routine maintenance to a house does not require a COA.
Okay.
And that's all outlined in our design guidelines too, which is good.
Right. Now, should it be, and I'm only gonna bring it up, I guess, because if it was something that was, hey, I need to get this done immediately, and you had to, in a case, pull a permit, they have been very good at saying, oh, you're in the historic district, you have to get a COA. I don't know if they've applied the same thing of saying, oh, that's just a repair, go ahead and do it. It seems like now they're erring on we want to make sure we've got a COA. So again, if it was something where you said, yeah, I know I'm not doing it, or it's not leaking and an issue immediately, I always look and say, well, I'll put in the COA and at least you won't then be surprised when you go down to get the permit.
Okay.
If they do that, that's the only saving grace. Otherwise, hey, I wanted to do it, and now I go down to get the permit, and I can't persuade them that it's just a repair, and now I got to wait another month to get onto the docket here. So,
That's a question that we can ask at the training session too, because I'm parroting what I've been told over the years by the State Historic Preservation Office. And sometimes that advice has changed depending on the situation. And each situation is unique and different too, which is also hard
Yeah.
sometimes. There's not like a blanket answer for each situation. Each situation is different and requires a different answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
and then I'll add on to that, multiple COAs though. I'm trying to remember, one of them was 4 meg, one was 7 meg, one was 4 meg. So again, people have limits on sometimes the attachments that can be added before it gets blocked by your mail system sometimes. So I'm still of the opinion that we should be able to, I don't know how you tell people, hey, use less resolution pictures or anything like that, or what actually adds into the size of a COA, but I've seen some of them that are larger, some of them smaller, and it all depends on how it's presented or built and sent in. So
Yeah.
these ones are good because it allows me to go right in and I think update the PDF. So I'm happy with this one, and it didn't seem to be above and beyond my blocking and my
I
emails.
created them as what's called a flat PDF.
Mm.
You can do a regular PDF that are much larger, but the flat PDF takes out all the extras that are usually involved in it. So the files are usually smaller. So I was hoping
Yeah.
it would be the case that you'd get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, we've had some times that where it bounces back, and we've struggled with our application over the years too. What I'd love is just for there to be like a form on the website that people can just autofill, but
Yeah.
that's a
It's a
conversation.
lot
with the city.
easier, but it is kind of ridiculous for these applications to come in with the 3 pages of instructions on the front of them.
Yeah,
Well, we
Yeah.
do it so they read it, but I don't know how much they read.
Well, no, it's good for them, but we don't need that to come back into us. We've got to sort
Well,
through
true.
3 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you did a good job, Jake. Nice job
Yes.
with the applications.
Thanks.
All right. Last Nichols, Greg Barlow.
let us consider calling this meeting to an close.
I'm gonna give Nancy a chance for last Nichols.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mister.
Well, hey, I assume you had a quorum to act on all your COAs and everything's okay?
Yep, everything was
Yeah.
good. Yes.
Very sorry for this. This is not like me to flub this up like this, but I'm really sorry. Hope it didn't impact it too badly. Sounds like
All
it
good.
didn't. Got everything done.
Yeah, all good.
Okay. And how
Catherine,
long,
oops, sorry.
Reagan, how long do you think the session would be? A couple hours? The 7 o'clock, November 30th?
Yep, so it says on Facebook, so Wednesday, November 30th from 7 to 9 p.m.
Right. Okay. That sounds good. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Catherine, anything last Nichols from you?
Nope, thank you.
All right, I've got nothing. Next meeting is scheduled for December 21st. We'll all wear festive gear and sweaters, but
Yeah,
we'll still do it as a Zoom call here. if that's okay with everyone, unless anyone has any.
Hey, winter begins then. Okay, H, G, C, okay.
All right, 21st, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Aye.
I didn't see, who was that? Greg,
Greg
Greg
Farlow,
J.
second.
Greg J.
I'll second.
Greg Farlow, seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Overruled.
Oh, let's keep the meeting
Overruled.
going.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Jake, look in your
Thank you.
email
See you next
For the updates or
Will
the
do.
thing here. All right.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one, guys.
Everybody. Have a good Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Reagan,
Oh, you
thank
too.
you.
Bye.
Good night, guys. Bye-bye.